I'm gonna keep it real. Ohio State couldn't handle the Miami Hurricanes because they had too much speed and too much talent for them to win the game. Ohio State was trying to come back, but it was too late in the second quarter. They should have been on top of their game in the first quarter. But Miami already had a plan when they came in there to beat Ohio State. And they couldn't do it. Them boys was too quick, too fast, too skillful, too talented. And the defense was spectacular. Ohio State couldn't handle that. You know what I'm saying? They beat all them weak teams. But when it came down to Indiana, matter of fact, to me, Miami Hurricanes did better than Indianapolis or Indiana because they were quick, off the draw. The quarterback was quick with his release of throwing the ball to his receivers and hitting his running backs. Ohio State couldn't hang. They got shocked. It was shock and awe, believe that, because they tried to come back. Maybe if they had more time, they may have came back, and maybe it would have been a different decision, but speed is the key. I say this in many videos. You know, I studied Bruce Lee and other fighters. Speed is the key. Speed is power. Power is speed. So if you get off something on somebody quicker than they do with power, you're going to do more damage to them quickly than they would do to you. They couldn't handle they couldn't handle the Miami Hurricanes because I seen it. Speed. It was all speed and power and talent. And these young boys was on it. The only thing that I felt that they weren't on the Miami Hurricanes was the fact that they shouldn't let their brother from Ohio State go down and catch that long pass close to the goal line. But they retaliated back to Miami Hurricanes when they stole that ball from the quarterback when he tried to throw it to his receivers. And old dude grabbed the ball and ran it to the touchdown. You know what I'm saying? That's talent. That's speed. And that's power. Speed is power. I tell people all the time. Yeah, there's a bigger guy that might fight a smaller guy, but I guarantee you this. The bigger guy got the power, but he don't got speed. He's slow. Some guys do that are big, but they still ain't as fast as somebody smaller. Somebody smaller that generate that kind of power are going to outdo or beat that person. And that's what the Miami Hurricanes did. And that quarterback from Ohio State threw that football tried to his friends. Old dude jumped right in front of him. He read the play. He jumped and grabbed the ball and took off. He was gone. There's no way they was going to catch him. Speed is power. Speed is power. Speed is power. And power is speed. Power is speed. That's the key to anything of any sport when it's competition. Speed is power and power is speed. And the Miami Hurricanes had all of that. They had speed, they had power, they had flexibility. You know what I'm saying? They knew what to do to shut down Ohio State or any other team that they would have played. That's why they won. And Ohio State had a sorry kicker. He should have had points on the board, but he kept missing the goal line. He kept missing kicking the ball. That's why they lost. But I seen it. Speed is power, power is speed. I know from my experiences from fighting in the ring, boxing and martial arts, kickboxing, you know what I'm saying? Speed is power. Power is speed. And that's what they had. The Miami Hurricanes had speed, super speed, supreme speed, quick speed. You know what I'm saying? That's why they lost. I mean, not the Miami Hurricanes, that's why Ohio State lost. Speed and power, and they caught them off guard. I told you this too. Never underestimate your opponent. Never. Never underestimate anybody. It doesn't matter who they are, what race, what height, you know what I'm saying, what country they come from, what gender, whatever. Never, ever, ever, never, never, ever, ever, never underestimate nobody. Because you don't know what you're going to get in return. You might get yours off, but I guarantee you, they catch you slipping or catch you off guard, trust and believe me, they're going to get theirs off. And they're going to get it off quickly and swiftly. That's why Ohio State lost. They got surprised. They had an attitude where, oh, we're gonna maul them, we're going to beat them up, we're going to run through them like this and that, like we did all the other teams. They didn't do that with Indiana, and they definitely didn't do that with the Miami Hurricanes. They had a plan. They studied Ohio State perfectly. They knew what to do. Speed was the key, and power. They mixed it up. They tricked them. They had a bag of tricks. You know what I'm saying? And their tricks worked out for the better. That's why they won the game. Ohio State got caught off guard, although they was coming back and fighting back, but it was too late. Too late. And Miami was on them. The game was over from the first half, from my opinion. They couldn't win. I'm talking about Ohio State, not the Miami Hurricanes. They got good running backs, fast, big running backs, halfbacks, receivers, and on the flip side of that, defensive players that had speed too. Miami Hurricanes had all speed through every option of their players. Male, female, well, I ain't gonna say female, but black, white or foreign, male, men from Miami. They tore to shreds off Ohio State. They kicked that ass royally. You know, and they deserved it because they didn't do what they were supposed to do. Number one, they started out that way, but they end up like that. And number two, they underestimated the Hurricanes just because they beat all these other teams and they're the top football team in the country. Well, until you met Indiana, that's when your downfall came, because they beat your ass, and then you met the Miami Hurricanes, and you thought you was gonna run through them like you ran through all these other teams, and you got food. Like I said again, and I'm gonna keep saying it. You better be listening out here that's watching this video. I don't care if you like what I'm saying. I don't care if you like me at all. I don't like you back. But I'm telling you, I saw what I saw. And I'm talking from experience in fighting in the ring and boxing and kickboxing and all these other sports that I used to do. Speed is the key. Just like wrestling, speed is the key. Speed. You hear what I said? S-P-E-E-D. Speed with 2 exclamation marks. Speed is the key to anything. If you get in a street fight with somebody, and of course a street fight is different than a fenced-in match like wrestling, boxing, martial arts, you know what I'm saying, or whatever other sports. Speed is the key. Soccer, whatever. Speed is the key. Speed is what will get you the win, plus whatever else you know how to do. And that's why Ohio State lost. They lost because Miami was quicker off the draw with their techniques and their game plan to beat Ohio State. They was already ready for Ohio State when they walked in, but Ohio State had the big head. Ohio State was cocky. Ohio State thought they was going to run through and blow through Miami, and they didn't, and they couldn't, and they wouldn't. Now, they started out doing good, but when Miami came back, they got them engines rolling and them techniques down and their skills ready. You know what I'm saying? They just took over the game from the first time they got the ball, man. You know what I'm saying? I had a feeling Ohio State wasn't going to win this game, and a lot of other people did too. It ain't just me talking. They lost because, then they lost their edge because they got caught off guard. They didn't expect the unexpected, and Miami gave them the unexpected. And when you give somebody the unexpected of whatever sport you're in, you're going to lose. You're not going to win because you caught off guard. That's what I say in my videos when I be speaking on different topics or whatever. If you get caught sleeping, which means if you get caught off guard, you ain't going to make it. You're going to lose. You're going to lose, just like in boxing. If you don't keep your hands up and you get caught with a punch, or in kickboxing with a kick, or whatever, or in wrestling or whatever, or in UFC, you're done. Speed is the key. Speed is the key. And that's what Bruce Lee used to always teach. Speed and power. Power and speed. Miami had it. Ohio State didn't. They did in the end. Too late. Lights out. Later.